We're here with Ryan Rose, one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, stop.
We never get to work together
Never.
either.
It's
What's
been,
that
what,
about?
like a year about, right?
It's crazy. I just haven't been picking up the Falcon projects, and you're so clean cut.
I
You
see.
need to rough it up.
I tried.
You need to rough it up.
I even got a furry butt.
Okay, well I'll call you. So we're here in the wilderness. We're shooting porn, and I want to know some shit about Ryan. So here we go. You ready?
I hope so.
I'm gonna grill you.
Oh, jeez.
So, tell me, what was your life like before you came to porn?
Boring. 9 to 5, overtime, construction, working in the elements. Just not fun.
Well, it's done a body good.
Yeah.
Was it really hard though? Yeah?
Yeah,
Working construction?
not so much hard. I mean, more physically than anything.
Mhm.
It was very tedious and repetitive, so it didn't take a brainiac to do my work.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of backbreaking work, carrying heavy things, lugging a sledgehammer around, jackhammering for 6 to 8 hours a day, So I mean, it was hard in its own way, I guess.
So then, what was your decision to come to porn? Like, who introduced the idea to you?
It was, you know what? I think every guy's got, one day I'm going to be that rock star, porn star kind of person,
Yeah.
and it was always in the back of my head, but I never took it seriously. And one day, unexpected unemployment arose, and I was like, well, I ain't got nothing else. Let's try something real quick.
Yeah.
Put some stuff on the internet, and
So you put your own stuff out?
yeah. And then I was contacted shortly later by my former manager. So
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome. And then you kind of blew up.
Yeah, I mean, well, at the first studio I was with, they kept personalities and social media is very under wraps. So it wasn't until I came here with you guys that I really, it
So
was
there was
introduced.
a time period then
Yeah.
in between.
Definitely. And
You
then
had to pay your dues.
yeah, definitely, exactly. You
Yeah?
gotta start. It was the low man on the totem pole kind of deal.
I can't imagine you being the low man on the totem pole.
Yeah. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Did it have its advantages being the low man on the totem pole?
Yeah.
How was the hazing?
It was I loved the hazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I actually had some fun times at the bottom end of the totem pole.
I bet I've seen that in you. And then you came to Falcon, and then how was life changed?
Life was changed, dramatically. I mean, it seemed like overnight I was on a box cover of a DVD, like, holy shit.
So you had never been on a box cover before?
Nope.
Wow.
Yep. And then I know I was introduced to Sean Wolf, Boomer Banks, and it was off to the races from there. It's such a crazy ride.
Cool.
I never had anything like that. Like, I didn't plan on being what it is today, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you watch your own stuff?
No, not at all. I'd be too critical.
So you have never ever seen yourself?
I've seen the PG-13 rated promos or trailers and stuff like
How does
that.
it feel seeing yourself
Oh,
in product?
it's weird. It's very weird. Like I said, I'm critical. I'm like, ooh, I'm never gonna make that face again. Ooh, that position is not flattering. So I mean, and that's me. I don't know how everybody else is, but how were you?
I was self-critical, but then I used the self-critical to make adjustments. The way you said, I would watch everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you recommend that?
I don't recommend anything because then it doesn't get me in trouble. I'm more interested in how your brain works. So then you are self-critical and you're not comfortable really watching your own stuff.
Not really.
No, so you just kind of keep away.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So after your kind of blow up, surge of popularity, then like good things started coming. More Twitter followers and awards, and most recently Performer of the Year.
Yes.
Which is like the top honors.
Yes, it is. It's
so
the big one.
How did that feel for you? What was going through your mind when you won? Did you have any idea?
The nominations came out. I know I was nominated, but the list of people that
Well, it's a long list.
oh yeah, I mean, like something like 50 people, and like 25 of those guys are people like I idolize and try to emulate. And it was just great. It was a flood of emotions. I was happy. It's also a way that you get recognized for your work. So it was very gratifying. Very.
Yeah. How were you feeling when you walked up on stage? Or by that point in the night, were you feeling anything anymore?
Well, by that point in the night, I was like, holy shit, this is the big one. I'm like, I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I'm like, I'm going to hear about it. I'm like, I hope I didn't look stupid. I know I was stumbling a little bit on my words, and I was just like, ugh.
And it's probably on camera, like
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, I'm sure somebody got it.
Good times. Early on in your career, at least with us, you kind of got hit with a public scandal. Like you had some personal issues that got made public. It hit the blogs.
Yes.
And you kind of got barraged by negativity. Like, how did you deal with that? Like, how did that feel? How did you get through it?
You know, it was kind of a scandal, and it was at the very early end of my career. It could have been a lot worse professionally for me than it was. Luckily, you guys had my back. I had a lot of support in my corner. That helped me get through a lot of it. As far as the negativity, I still get hit with that on a daily basis.
How do you deal with that?
You just do. You just like anything else, you put one foot in front of the other, and you keep on going. And I don't want to sound like the victim, because I wasn't. I was the guilty party. I'm sorry for what happened, and I take it as a learning experience and try just to be better every day after.
Yeah, that's really humble. With negative comments and haters on blogs, like, how do you just deal with that today?
You know what? I chose to put myself in the position I'm in the spotlight of the general public. And you know what? That comes with certain people aren't going to agree with you, and some people are going to have your back, and you just take the good with the bad and keep on going.
So whatever, girl.
Yeah, right? Brush it off. Brush it off.
Brush it off. Good attitude. So let's turn it around now. Let's get a little sexy.
All right.
Let's talk about how much fun it is to have sex outdoors. This isn't your first location shoot, right?
No, Falcon tends to go on a lot of locations. This is my first time, I believe, on location with Raging Stallion.
Yeah.
And I
sex
love
outdoors. Like,
yes.
Do you prefer it?
Yes, absolutely. You know, there's only so many times you can bang on a bed or a couch or something like that, or you know, an ottoman and whatnot. But outdoors, you never know. You can have like a fallen tree and just bend me over and go to town. Yeah, I mean, it's the opportunities here are endless. So
Yeah. Do you like to be watched?
yeah, I'm kind of, yeah.
You're an exhibitionist?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, so when the guys that own the house walk by,
Yeah.
and they start wanking in behind the barn, you're
Love
like,
it.
hey,
Yep.
you have a show, little audience.
Right?
Awesome.
Get a little bit louder, put on a better performance.
Cool. So, of all your Falcon productions, which one's your favorite? Like, the hottest sex you had? Who was your partner? What kind of things did you do?
I mean, each person brings a different dynamic to the table.
Yeah. I want to hear about the sex.
My personal favorite was Lance Luciano and the group scene. Plays together. It was my first group scene.
Yeah.
There was a DP of Darius Ferdinand, who's amazingly beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just great. Connor McGuire, Lance Luciano. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better cast.
What happened? I haven't seen it.
Well, I don't know if I should give off the end, but that was my favorite.
Well, I mean, you know, it's out there. You don't. It's
all
not
right.
like you're.
Well, at the end, I'm on my knees, and they're all four above me. I mean, they all have beautiful cocks, and I just get showered in cum. I was just loving it, just taking it all in on my face. I was just, give it to me. They all gave great performances, great loads. That was definitely one of my favorite money shots and my favorite scenes.
So when you're having sex in your personal life, is it like cum showers every day?
Not every day, and sometimes I'm the one giving the showers, but
Yeah.
it's always. I always tell them, I'm like, you know, this is my profession, and I expect a great money shot.
So yeah, so when you hook up with guys, like, is it intimidating for them to have sex with you now that you're what you are?
Yeah, actually, I've found it, like, as hard as I try, you know, to be the attention whore I kind of am.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys get intimidated by that, and they're intimidated by the films and by my scene partners and, you know, sometimes my personality.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's come to the point where if I see something I like, I'm going to go walk over and try to take it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But you're pretty demanding in bed, huh?
Not demanding, but you know what? I tell people this. I'm like, have you seen any of my scenes? All right. I take it just like I give it, hard and fucking long. So.
I'd be intimidated. Cool. Because of your popularity now, do guys come up to you who want to get into porn and ask you if they can get into porn? I mean, what kind of advice would you give somebody? I mean, does that happen to you?
It happens all the time.
And so are you recruiting now, or do you give them advice?
You know what? If the potential's there, yes. But I found it so hard. You stick your neck out for somebody, and I refer them, say, hey, you know, I'm referring this person, I'm putting my name on it, and then they flake or they don't make flights. So, you know what, they have to really be adamant about it, and I make them put in a little effort before I stick my name on it.
That's smart.
But I always tell them beforehand, I'm like, stay in school, get a college education. Porn is not, I mean, you can make it a career, and some people do, like yourself, but a lot of people are in and out, and it's more of a job. You know, there's no 401k at the end of the rainbow here.
No, there isn't.
So I tell them, if you're in school, stay in school, get a degree, you know.
Yeah. Maybe pay for school with porn.
Porn, yeah. Oh, I found out, though, that if they're on scholarships or something, they can possibly get in trouble and get their
And lose their scholarships. Wow. So there's still a stigma and consequences.
But that's with not just gay porn, that's all porn.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah, wow. So let's talk a little bit about, switch your gears and talk about fame. So are there any, like, famous entertainers that you admire? And if so, list one and tell us why are they someone you admire?
Justin Bieber.
Why?
He came in quiet like a lamb, you know, very, you know, the teen idol, very prim proper, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, couple records later, the bad boy, you know, speeding down Miami in a Ferrari, kind of becoming the hot mess, and now he's trying to turn it around a little bit and clean it back up a little bit and be a professional. And you know, that was similar in kind of my career. Came in all innocent, and then bam, scandal, and now I'm the bad boy, party boy, and now I'm trying to clean it up a little bit.
Wow, so little admiration.
A little bit,
and
yeah.
respect for the personal experience
Mhm.
and how he handles it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, with fame or notoriety comes advantages, fans.
Definitely.
I mean, you've got a considerable number of Twitter followers. Are you in like the 30,000s?
30. I think I'm almost to 40,000.
40,000 now, and it just keeps growing.
Yeah,
and growing.
you know what? I figured at one point it was going to plateau, you know, kind of peak and it just seems the more I go, the more they go. So
yeah. Do you? How do you like to best interact with your fans? Is it Twitter? Is it social media? Is it live performances? Like, what do you like?
it usually starts off via social media, and then, you know, when I come do an appearance in their town, they're like, "Oh my God!" And I kind of love that because they're like, "Well, I thought you would be a little more standoffish," and I'm right there dancing on the dance floor with them, you know. At one point, you know, buying them shots.
So you love your fans.
I love them, you know. I definitely
You party with your fans.
Yeah, you know, if it wasn't for them, I would be out of a job. So, you know, thank you. You know, thanks for being a fan or a follower.
Yeah,
You know,
that's freaking awesome. And, you know, another thing that's kind of interesting about you is that you have a very active, profitable Amazon wish list.
Yes.
Which blows my mind.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about your Amazon wish list. Maybe list some of the kind of more awesome things that have come from that. And why do you do it?
You know what? It all started early in my career. I was kind of hanging out with another studio's models, and they're more the twink kind of set. And they're like, "Oh, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this." I'm like, "Okay, you know, I'm new to the social media thing. Hold up, you know, show me how it's done." And they introduced me to Amazon. I'm like, "Do people really do this?" I'm like, "It seems a little shallow."
So you were a little skeptical.
Yes, you know, it's like the GoFundMe things. I always see a lot of people with the GoFundMes, and personally, I'm against that. Because to me, that was designed for somebody who was unable to help themselves in certain situations, and it's pretty much asking for donations or money. And yet I see all these new guys would be like, "Oh, I want to go on vacation here. Oh, I want this new thing," or something like that. So just give me cash. I don't want to work for it. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Just give me cash.
So how is the Amazon wish list different?
The Amazon wish list, I'm not asking for anything. I post a link, and it's your choice. I'm not asking you to be like, "Hey, I need this," or "Hey, I want this."
It's fan admiration.
Definitely. And, you know, it's not cash. I work for my cash. It's gifts. And like I said, I don't ask people to do it. I don't expect them to do it whatsoever.
I have an Amazon wish list. Just nobody gives a shit.
Really?
It's not under Steve Cruz, though.
And you know what? People are crazy. Like,
What'd you get?
I get lots of things. Almost all my clothing is off my Amazon wish list. And my friends are like, "What would you be wearing if you weren't wearing like Diesel or Prada or that?" I'm like, "Something from Walmart."
Well, thanks, Vance.
Right?
Yeah, keep some Walmart off your back.
Oh, I mean, not only that. I mean, I've gotten a vehicle.
You got a vehicle?
Yeah, a Rolex. Yeah, like ridiculous thing. That Rolex is gonna be a family heirloom that I hand down to my children.
Jeez.
You know, I mean, just people are.
They're amazing.
They are. They're really. I mean, if
how did it feel when somebody bought you that Rolex?
I couldn't believe it. Couldn't, and I have it on my wish list where I don't know. So once you purchase it, it doesn't send me anything.
So you don't know who bought it for you?
No, they have the option of doing that.
Did they let you know?
But the thing is, I don't know it's coming. So all of a sudden, I get a bunch of boxes. I'm like, oh, it's close.
Did you cry?
I almost did.
Did you scream like a girl?
Yes, because I remember in high school, my father had a Rolex, and I admired this watch more than anything in the world. And on prom night, he's like, you could take the Rolex. So I'm like, where is it? And he's like, it's in the Corvette. You can take that too. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah, and he never I had to wash the car, and I wasn't allowed to touch it or anything like that. And his Rolex, he kept in like a private safe and stuff like that. So for him to do that, I was just like, damn. And he's a very successful person, and I've always admired him. So it was kind of like, when I got mine, I was like, hey, Dad, look. And he's like, really? I'm like, yep. So,
wow. So that brings up another question then. You know, your dad knows you got a Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was my family, like, how'd you buy a Rolex? Like, why are you rolling in it? Do they know what's up with you?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah?
You know, once everything took off and stuff, it was kind of hard to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
But so you know what? I wanted to tell them before they found out.
Understandable.
So I did, and you know what? They still love me and adore me. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't go, Dad, hey, it was a long day at the office. You know, I just got about 8 inches for like 5 hours. I'm not like that, but
Yeah.
he's like, you good? You take care of? You safe? I'm like, yep.
Good.
He's like, all right, as long as you're taken care of.
Awesome, awesome. Do you think maybe the stigma around porn might be changing a little bit?
So the stigma's there, but I think it's like everything else. We're all evolving. We're all, you know, understanding that it isn't what the dark, gloomy thing it used to be.
Well,
or
yeah. I'm sure
or
some of it might be like that. I'm not
fun
going to go
stuff.
there, but...
But
yeah.
I definitely think it's getting better. You know, it's just like, you know, the stigma with being gay. You know, and now there's, you know, a gay BFF in every little teen movie there is.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's getting there.
Yeah.
One step at a time, you know?
Yeah. So then, you know, does all of this success have a dark side? If you agree that there's a price to pay for all this, what do you think it would be?
Privacy.
Yeah.
Privacy. It's so hard for me just to go out with friends, especially in the gay community. We're often, you know, if I just want to go out and relax and not be bothered, I'm usually in a straight bar.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to get, and that sucks because I want to go hang out with my queens as well. You know, some of the girls I hang out with are just love going to the gay bars, and so do I. I love being around people who are open and accepting of me for me. But you know what? I don't want to sit there and take pictures. Not that I don't mind taking pictures
No.
with my loyal fans and followers
No,
and stuff.
but you can't be on all the time is what
all
you're
the
saying.
time. Yes.
Because it takes energy.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and it's also rude to the people who I'm with. You know, if I have to step away every 5 minutes. You know, so.
And you miss that?
A little bit. Like I said, I'm a attention whore, but you know what? If somebody comes to town that I haven't seen in years, you know, I want to devote all my attention and time to them and the time that we have together. So it's a fine line. It's a balance, you know, but it comes with the territory, and I understood that walking into the door. So,
So how do you think it's going to play out as we go into the future? You know, popularity, you're not going to be able to do this forever.
Right,
obviously.
exactly.
Like you said yourself, there's not a retirement package.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like your privacy will come back, or do you think that that's something that you're just going to have to let go of?
I think one day, you know, I'll ride into the sunset, and you know, and it'll be forgotten. You know, I don't look at myself like some of the other people do, and you know what? I believe one day I'll get my privacy back. You know, so.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you're going to be forgotten just like that?
Like I said, I'll ride into the sunset and I'll forget about myself. So.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to the future. There's more questions about that, but I want to talk a little bit more about the present. You are such a personality, which is why I love you. Okay, so Twitter fights, love them, hate them, start them, crave them. Like,
A little of everything.
All of it?
Some days I'm sitting there in a bad mood. You know, you just wake up and have a bad day. I'm like, dare somebody, let somebody.
So you provoke them.
Sometimes, and a lot of times, often or not, they're not. I mean, accidentally provoked. Maybe
Sure.
maybe I say something that might have offended somebody.
Or with so few characters, how do you even know how it's intended?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
people take things the wrong way all the time.
Yeah, it's like a text message. How do you know without, you know, the personality
You
behind
can't
it?
see the scowl and the look. in
And
their
oh
eyes.
yeah, oh yeah, and that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's my friends. They'll be like, "Yo, what the hell?"
Mhm.
I'll be like, "Dude, I did not mean it like that. I meant it. I should have put JK, laugh out loud, and a smiley face or
But
something."
when you do mean it,
Yeah, but I mean, there
Well.
are times when I do mean it, and it's sometimes they're blown really up, and sometimes I get even more heated and passionate about it, and I won't drop it, and it happens, you know. And then I have all my friends like DMing me and be like, "Stop, what are you doing? Go for a walk."
do you think it adds or takes away from your fan base? Do you think it adds or takes away from your marketability?
You know what? It probably could go either way.
Mm.
Some people can be like, "Oh, he's a hothead, he's arrogant, and this, that, or anything," or some people are be like, "You know, he's being real, he's being personable, he's not fake. He doesn't have a manager writing candid, you know, responses. You know, that's him, and that is me. All my social media is done by me. I don't have anybody else doing that. It's me. So when I tell you, oh, I love you, or hey, go
Fuck
walk,
off.
yeah, you know,
You
that's
mean
me.
it. You being real. Keeping it
Exactly.
real.
Exactly.
Well, that's cool. That has integrity. So then if it's all you, then you're pretty much, I mean, of course you have the studio behind you and you have a marketing department to give you photos, whatever. But the rest of your career, you don't just make movies. Making movies is just like,
Probably a third.
right. You do other things. You're self-managing.
Yes.
Yeah. So is your life, your entire life, just a business now?
Not my entire life, but a large portion of it. Like I wake up every morning and the first thing I do is checking emails, responding. If I'm not on location where there's no cell phone service, I'm returning phone calls and voicemails. You know, so it does take up a large portion. And then people are always like, "Why are you on your phone?" Or "Why is there an alarm going off every 2 hours or every hour?" I'm like, "That's my alarm to post something," you know. So, and they're like, "Well, get off your phone." I'm like, "Give me 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes." And then I'm back. And so it does. It does definitely has an effect on my life.
Yeah.
But I try to keep my personal life and my professional life separate, but it's so hard, especially nowadays. They definitely blend together. But when I fall off for a while and you don't see me posting anything for like a day, that's me taking a break.
Yeah, yeah. You seem happy. Are you happy?
Yes, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Early on in my career, I was more money driven and very, you know, I'm all about the dollar, all about the dollar. And now, you know what? I've done what I needed to. I'm in a secure place, and it's about what makes me happy, what pursues me.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I can be a little bit more selective on things I want to do, and you know, I can take a little time to myself. And instead of, you know, being on location in these spots, now after that, maybe I'll go take a trip to one of them that I liked.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, that's interesting that you're kind of leading me to the next question, which is, if money was no object, literally, you had just all the money that you could do whatever you wanted, and you could do anything in the world, or have anything, or achieve anything, what would that one thing be?
If I had unlimited amounts of money,
It was just money was just no object, and you could just do whatever it is.
I'd probably continue doing what I'm doing now,
Yeah.
and probably donate the money.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to win support or anything like that, but
You're already in the zone.
yeah, you know what? I already kind of, I don't have it figured out, but I got a pretty good guideline and a path, and I can always make more money. You know, and sometimes there's more to life than money.
Yeah. Okay, so we're at the end of the interview now. We're gonna play a little game. It's our final 5, okay?
Oh dear.
So this is like the first thing that pops into your head. There are 5 questions. Don't overthink it. And it's like a flash round. So ready?
Okay. Yeah, I hope so.
Ready to hear it?
Yeah.
Here it goes. Sex is.
Great.
Fame is.
Double-edged sword.
Happiness is.
Bliss.
In 10 years, I will be.
Oof. 10 years, I'll be unknown. Wow.
And the most important thing in life is.
Happiness.
this guy here. How can you not fall in love? Oh my God. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good getting to know you further. All right, out.